earlier today, we saw him 2-0 OGS Hiren, and we saw him beat Clefairy last game. So we are seeing another game from Jobless, and then spawning in the bottom left is Clefairy again. So we'll be seeing interesting play here. Now, my co-caster for this match is Bus Driver. Do you want to go by any other name?
I'm usually known as Lancer on OT, but either is fine. Most people know both of my Starcraft 2 and OT name.
Well, we'll go with Lancer because I don't want to call you a Bus Driver all game. So Bus Driver or a Lancer, whatever, I'll be calling you both depending on what I'm feeling like. What are you expecting from this TBT?
I mean, I don't know any of these players, but if it's anything like a standard PV or TBT, I'd see, Marine tank pushes off a 2 base, possibly some Banshee play maybe. We'll see how it goes with the opener.
Yep, it all depends on that opener here. Now, every game we've seen Jobless play so far, he goes for that early second gas. Except for the one game where he did that early proxy barracks push and was able to 2-0 OGS Hiren with it. So from the builds we've seen, which of course since you're just now turning into the tournament, Jobless definitely has a wide variety of builds he can pull off here. Now we've only seen one game from Clefairy, and he did win it or lose it last game. So no, he won it last game. Yeah, I confuse the shit out of myself sometimes. But right now, both players are getting their first gases and barracks, so we're seeing fairly standard openers from both players.
That is a very interesting scouting pattern from Clefairy. He sent the SCV through the little tunnel with the weeds just to make sure there wasn't any tomfoolery going around.
Yep. Yeah, if he did watch the stream, he would have seen that Jobless did do that proxy barracks to OGS Hiren in the second game, so he's probably aware that Jobless is willing to cheese his way to victory. Now, do you want to take a couple of seconds to explain the map to the viewers, how this backdoor works and stuff?
The backdoor?
To the expansion.
What?
The little power.
Oh, yeah. If you don't put a supply depot or any other building, or maybe even a marina there, that little backdoor right there can be very deadly. It's you can't spot it because there's weeds right there, so usually people put a supply depot somewhere in the middle to catch any units coming through. But if they don't catch it, that leaves the natural very vulnerable to some small timing attack right there.
Yep. Now we do see that Jobless did go for that standard early second gas like he normally does. Both players are getting a factory right now, and Clefairy's just now getting his second gas, so we are going to be seeing a little bit later gas play, so we're probably not going to be expecting Cloak Banshees this early on, especially with that late second gas. So we don't know where this could go yet for Clefairy, but probably going to see a pretty standard opening from Jobless. Like to see more Blue Flame Hellion play. Those are always fun to watch. Now, interesting choice from Jobless. We are getting that early engineering bay.
I think that's just mainly for possibly Banshee harass, just to get some turrets up. Because for I don't see him using 100 minerals, 100 gas for upgrade quite yet.
Yeah, especially since he's going for Starport tech, so definitely not going to be seeing any +1/+1 anytime soon. We do have these Marines stationed at this entrance here. Anything that tries to get into this base is going to get sniped instantly, so we won't be seeing any form of scout yet unless we use one of our scans. Now, Tech Lab is finished on the factory for Jobless. We're not getting anything on it yet, and we're also getting a reactor for this barrack, so there's a lot of different ways we have to see where these add-ons get swapped to. And we are getting a siege tank for Jobless, and right now, I have no clue where this build could be going for Jobless. In Clefairy's base, we are swapping that Starport.
Yeah, we will be seeing most likely a Banshee out of this Starport. Oh,
well, looks like we're getting that Raven. It's alright. Now, last game, Jobless did go with those Cloak Banshees, so maybe we are fearing that again. And we did scout that Jobless got that early second gas. And whenever you see an early second gas, the first thing that crosses every player's mind is Banshees. We've all lost games with Cloak Banshees before, so he's probably just taking the safest route he can. And Jobless is poking out here. He's got a siege tank, a couple Marines, and that Viking, and that can do a lot of damage. But luckily, Clefairy was doing the exact same thing for the most part. He will have that Raven out, which is not going to do much against this build. I mean, you guys can put the turret down. Point defense drone's not going to do much against these Marines. But right now, Clefairy's army is slightly bigger, almost losing this Viking, taking a little bit of damage on it. And right now, it's looking like it's just going to be standard siege tank Viking play from both players.
Oh yes, classic TVT. If you do notice on the minimap, there's these little purple squares. Clefairy's doing a really good job of putting up supply depots randomly everywhere, try to catch drops, kind of trying to catch anything that goes across the map.
Yep, and for you, he was doing this last game, so the viewers are very well informed on this. Clefairy did a good job. He was able to scout all Banshees coming in and all drops with those supply depots, so all the viewers know how effective that can be after last game, and he definitely was able to see those Banshees coming just in time to get that Raven out, so good placement from Clefairy. You know, he's making sure nothing cheesy comes in. But it looks like Jobless is doing what he did last game. He's containing Clefairy. Clefairy was contained last time for the longest time, and Jobless is doing a good job of preventing that. And this time, Jobless has the Viking control. Last time, Clefairy had air control, and when you're containing someone, air control is all you need. In Viking siege tank play, whoever has the most Vikings is going to win because you need that air control for the vision.
Oh yes, definitely. This is a very hard contain. Looks like Jobless is committing quite hard to this right now, and I honestly don't see Clefairy doing much about it. He needs to get a reactor on that Stark point so he can pump out more Vikings and actually win the Viking War.
Yeah, that would be nice. Good point defense drone there, stopping these Vikings and picking off the last one. So Clefairy turning that around, being able to take air control there with that point defense drone. And Clefairy's expansion is now finished, so his SCV production is going to be tripled. And as soon as he breaks his contain, he will be able to expand.
If you haven't noticed on the minimap, Clefairy did actually build a bunker to slow down Jobless's expo if he does so choose to build one. That's a very nice move. That way it'll delay him quite a bit.
We don't even have an expansion being built for Jobless yet, but with that point defense drone, Clefairy was able to take air control from Jobless. Jobless losing several of his Vikings.
Oh, he just lost that.
And a siege tank, about to lose a second one.
Right,
so good job from Clefairy breaking this contain. He did it last game against Jobless, and he's doing it again. Jobless doing a good job with his initial contain, but then losing control. Good play with the Raven there. Point defense drone is very rarely used because when you see these mass Marines, you're like, okay, the real threat is the Marines, but these Vikings here is what matters in Terran versus Terran. This air control is all that matters, and that point defense drone stops every Viking blast, which is great.
That is very smart. I would have never thought about using a point defense drone Viking versus Viking.
It is extremely strong build.
Then again, I'm in Silver League, so...
Now we do have Clefairy poking forward. If you look at the income tab here, we have 32 harvesters for Clefairy, 29 for Jobless. And Jobless is just now putting down his expansion. So we have double SCV production here from Clefairy, which, you know, he doesn't really need to be doing that. But as soon as the expansion finishes, he'll be able to transfer so many SCVs over. Now we have an auto turret going down on the siege tank, causing this other siege tank to splash onto it. So good job from Clefairy, just doing as much harassment as possible. Wasn't able to kill it, but able to do some damage and force the repair, which is minerals. And all that matters is economy in this game.
If you see on the production tab, Clefairy is actually getting #1 Terran infantry upgrade right there, as well as Stim. Stim just started. I believe he's gonna make a push right after he gets these units down, or this contain off of him.
More than likely, and now we have huge air control from Clefairy. Right now he's got 5 Vikings and the Raven. We have 1 Viking from Jobless, and we look in his base, we don't have any other air. So, like I said before, air control is all that matters. Now we are moving forward, and we're taking some damage on our siege tanks, and losing one of them from Clefairy, losing the second one. Bad move from Clefairy. He just overextended himself so very slightly, and was able to, you know, sacrifice 2 siege tanks, which is not what he wants to be doing in this position. And we do have Jobless expanding. He killed that bunker. He's getting that expansion going.
We do have Clefairy with the dropship. He's just kind of like leapfrogging his Marines onto the lower ground with that medevac. I believe he's going to try to flank around with the Marines on the lower ground and catch those tanks out of position. Or he might even try to push his opponent's main.
That, you know, either of those strategies would be extremely smart. Hopefully, I would like to see Clefairy push the main, because we look in the main of Jobless right now. He's only got 2 siege tanks, a couple Vikings, and a Marauder and a Marine. So if he does a huge push towards the main of Jobless, he can do a lot of damage, and it looks like we'll be seeing just that. Nope, he's deceiving us. Make up your mind. So we do see the force moving out, and right now, if I was Jobless, I would probably be pissing my pants right now because this is a huge force coming for his main, and this force at the natural for Clefairy is not big enough to engage these siege tanks and marines up here. Now here comes...
Definitely. He needs to siege those tanks up right now if he wants to survive this.
Now, here comes the stem. We need to get close to those siege tanks and focus fire. Good split from Clefairy, just completely dividing his marines. SCVs being pulled, landing the Vikings, but right now Clefairy is just doing a great job. He's focus firing all these SCVs down, and right now Jobless is in a horrible position. He's got no more siege tanks in his base, and it's not looking good from here. Clefairy could very well take the game with this attack right now. He's got so much good air control here, so many marines here, and right now we only have 1 siege tank and 2 marines and a marauder inside the base. Stimming forward, running into the base, picking up that siege tank, and right now Jobless can't engage with this army down here. He's forced to attack into the base, losing so many SCVs right now. Income tab shows 22 harvesters for Jobless, 43 for Clefairy, and this is not good for Jobless at all.
That might as well be game right there. I don't see.
Yeah, this is. There's no way Jobless. We did see him 2-0 OGS Highland. It's a shame that we have to see him lose now, but great play from Clefairy, just completely breaking the contain and counterattack. And there's the GG. Great game. Any thoughts you want to get to our viewers on this game, real quick?
Clefairy did a really good job of dealing with that hard contain right there. He said, you know, if you're just going to stream all your units down here, I'm just going to counter to your main, and you have no units in your main because you keep on reinforcing I just blanked on the word. The contain. I mean, whenever you have a contain like that, you still want some units in your main just in case there's a drop like that coming.
And Clefairy did the perfect job there. He realized how overextended Jobless was and just pushed the main. So great game, guys. We'll be going to the next matchup soon, match 3. Keep watching, guys. Get your friends in the stream. We'll be giving away prizes in chat within the next couple rounds. So if you're wanting to win a free StarCraft 2 game, get ready for that. And yeah, as soon as the next game starts, we'll dive right into it. Now,